world, welcome back to another video. It is me, Abbayabbadoo, and Mabel, and for today's video I'm going to be talking about what to expect when you first bring home your pet rats. Rats are amazing little pets, but for the first few days or even weeks, it can feel a bit overwhelming if you don't know what's normal and what's not. When you first bring your rats home, don't be surprised if they're a little shy. Everything smells, looks and sounds different to them, so they'll need some time to adjust. Some rats will hide in hammocks or a house for the first few days, others might be more curious, my rats definitely were, and both are completely normal. Give them a calm, quiet space for the first few days. Don't overwhelm them with too much handling at once, instead let them sniff your hand and talk to them softly, and allow them to come out at their own pace. The main way I interacted with my rats within the first few weeks is I would put food in my palm and just sit there. Sometimes they'd come up to me, sometimes they wouldn't, and it's all just a matter of building trust with them. If you begin being too heavy-handed or overwhelming them with your hands from the very beginning, they won't associate you with anything good, and it's best to always offer food first before touching them. And remember, please don't be afraid to use household objects around them. Don't not hoover the room that they're staying in just because you're worried you'll scare them. This will just make it worse for them in the long run because they'll never be able to get used to the sound of household objects. The next thing I want to talk about is something that's really common, and you might notice it in the first week, is something people call the new home sniffles. Rats are very sensitive to new environments, and the change in bedding and smells, or even just the stress of moving can make them sneeze a little more than usual. Usually this will settle down within a week or two as they adjust, but if sneezing carries on, gets worse, or you notice any symptoms like clicking noises when they breathe, porphyrin staining around the eyes or nose, or heavy breathing, then I think it would be time to book a vet visit, because this could be a respiratory infection. Within the first week, my rat Nelly actually did have a respiratory infection, and all it took was a vet visit to get some antibiotics and it was gone within the next week. Unfortunately, some rats are prone to respiratory problems, so it's important to know the difference between harmless new home sneezes and something more serious. Keep an eye out for persistent sneezing after the first couple of weeks, laboured or noisy breathing, you might hear wheezing and clicking or even rattling, red staining around the nose or eyes. This can also happen if the rat has just woken up, but if the red staining, porphyrin, is consistent and won't go away, then that would be a symptom of an infection, or your rat may be lethargic or have a loss of appetite. If you see these signs, don't wait it out, please get them checked by a vet that's experienced with small animals. Respiratory issues can usually be managed with medication, but the earlier they're treated, the better. And yes, if left untreated, it can be deadly. Within the first week of owning rats, you might want to start litter training them, which I have a video all about if you would like to learn how. But within that time of training them, they may scent mark a little extra than usual. You have to imagine that they've been put in a cage that isn't theirs and they've never been in it before. They're going to want to scent mark and claim it all as their own. So don't be surprised if your rats are extra stinky within the first few weeks of owning them, and it will take them a little while to get the hang of litter training. Your rats could possibly sleep a little extra than usual. Rats are crepuscular, which means they are awake at dawn and dusk, and usually sleep between lunchtime. However, your rats could be sleeping a little extra because moving houses is exhausting for a small animal. But if your rat doesn't eat or drink and won't wake up if you try to touch them, then that is definitely a red flag and they should be taken to a vet. Do not be disheartened if your rats want absolutely nothing to do with you. TikTok and the internet like to advertise rats as super cuddly and playful animals, which they can be, also depending on their gender. If you have males, they may be more snuggly and chill than females. But while you're watching their health, don't forget about building trust. Your rats will be nervous at first, but sitting by the cage, talking to them, playing music, offering treats, and letting them climb on you at their own pace without forcing them will help them feel safe and start bonding with you. Every rat has their own personality. For example, my rat Mabel is extremely confident. Within the first few days, actually, she didn't mind being held, but my rat Nelly actually took months of work to even become slightly confident with me and coming out the cage by herself. So some warm up quickly and others take more time, but patience is key, and not forcing them to interact with you is really important. 11 months ago, I got my trio and they are now thriving and are extremely confident with me. So to sum it up, expect some shyness, maybe a few new home sneezes, and remember to keep an eye on their breathing. With patience and care, your new rats will soon feel right at home. If you found this video helpful, come back next Sunday at 5 PM for more animal care tips. And if you've just brought home new rats, let me know in the comments how they're settling in and what their names are. See you all next time. Bye bye!